Hi everyone, I'm going to be in a hurry today. I'm going to do a 4-part harmony in 10 minutes. Let's see if I can do it. Okay, let's put the timer on there. Okay, now I'll write the chords out because you guys probably will find that helpful. Okay, well, how quickly can I write these chords? Okay, chord 2, E, C, A, and I'll try and talk through what I'm doing while I'm doing it. Which means me trying to do two things at once. That's really scary. And okay, what I want to G, E, C. You'll notice the way I'm writing the chords out so that you can see the root note on the bottom. I think this really helps people. So I'm kind of a stickler for that. This is chord 5. Go, go, go. Let's get these chords written out. And then chord 6, where we've got B, G, E. And there we go. All right, okay. All right, first cadence. Let's start the end here. That belongs to chord 1, obviously. Does this belong to chord 5? Second last note. A belongs to chord 5. Yes, so we have a perfect cadence. Let's fill that in. And I'm going to go really fast here, so I'm doing the bass line first. Okay, could we have a 2-5-1? Does A belong to chord 2? Yes. So we can have a 2-5-1 if possible. Can I have a first inversion? Yes, a first inversion will work really good here because we've got the root note in the melody. So that works like a treat, and we've got a nice little step up there. Right, move, move, move. Come on, next cadence. A, does that end in chord 5? Yep. So we don't have a plagal cadence, we don't have an imperfect cadence, otherwise we'd have a G or a B or something like that. Got an A, so this is an imperfect cadence, so it'll end on chord 5. B, that could be 6, but then I've got consecutive fifths, so I think I might make that 1 to 5, and that will work. C, what's got a C in it? Chord 4, chord 2, but I think I'll make it chord 4 rather than root position. Can I have a first inversion? Yes, because I've got the root note of the chord in the melody, so that works well. Okay, cadence, anacrusis. Okay, chord 5, yes. Chord 1, yes. Okay, now completing bass line. Okay, what's got an A in it? D, chord 5's got an A in it. However, a little bit plain. This C could be chord 4, and so what I'm actually seeing here, what I'm processing, is that I can actually detect here, and I admit it takes a little while before you can learn to see this, but I can see a step down by using chord 5 first inversion, and then chord 4 first inversion. Gives me scale motion in the bass line, which is always desirable. D, that belongs to chord 5. There we go. Okay, that's the first phrase. Now, next one. What could E be? It could be C or chord 6E. I think I might go chord 6. So, D, I see the root note of chord 5 in the melody, so I always think, could I use first inversion? Yes, I could. B, that's the third of the chord. Could I use chord 1? And I got a step up, and I really value that step up. I also value the contrary motion. That's going well. Now, I've got B to G, and so 3 to 1. You can do 1 to 3. So I'm seeing chord 1 first inversion. It's a really good trick. If you don't know how to do that, learn how to do it. You can have chord 1 root position followed by chord 1 first inversion. Works like a treat. Anyway, I need to keep going here. Okay, I've done all of that. Got my bass line. Now I need to get the harmony done. Okay, first step is the third of the chord there. Actually, by the way, I should be checking for consecutives, but I happen to know that there aren't any. So I've actually been checking that as I go, mainly because of the contrary motion, right? So I can see how all the contrary motion, they're a sixth apart, so they're fine, okay? But if you need to, write the intervals like this. So like that's G to G is an 8, F sharp to A is a 3. Anyway, I've got tutorials about that. You can check that up. I need to go. I'm on a time limit here. Okay, I'm going to double the root note. Look, I'm not even doing the voices correctly. But anyway, okay, is the third of the chord there? No, I need to put it in. Who will I give it to? Well, if I give it to the alto, it'll be too low, so I'm going to give it to the tenor, and I've got a nice D moving across there. That's going well. Okay, now what I don't have is the root note of the chord, because the third of chord 5 is in the bass voice here. So I better put in my fifth, and I can double the root note, and I've got up. Now let me check these so far. So I'm going back to here. You can see what I'm pointing to. So let's see, upper second, same, upper second, upper fourth. So A to F sharp, B to G is a sixth. They're all good. Upper second, same, down a second, down a second. The two down a seconds are a third apart, so we're all good. Okay, next chord. Where are we going? I might go up to the root note there, and I think now I've got G to G, so that's not more than an octave, so I think I'm okay there. Okay, so now we've got chord 5 here. Is the third of the chord there? No. I might give that to the alto because it's just a step down. This can go, tenor can go up to the A. Now, do we have upper second, down a second, upper second, down a second? Okay, the two down a seconds are a third apart, and the two upper seconds are actually a fourth apart, but that's actually okay because of first inversion chords. So that might be something else we need to talk about. Anyway, I'm on a time limit here. I'm going to keep going. Time's running out. Okay, so what have we got here? So we've got the chord of C, chord 4. We've got the third in the bass. So I've checked the third. 4. I'm doing too much gas bagging. Let's go up to double the root note up there. And contrary motions, the two same movement are a third apart, so we're all good. So always checking for consecutives. Here's chord 1, so this is going to go E, Z, and that's working. The third of the chord was already there. Doubled the root, the fifth, and then that's working very well. Okay, that phrase is done. What's that doing down there? Next phrase. Okay, so add the third. The third isn't there. I'm going to add it. See, a lot of these things I think of very quickly. And that's where you need to practice this, trying to do it as fast as you can. The third is in the bass here because I've got chord 5 first inversion, so I'm not going to double that. So let's see, let's put the fifth there. Okay, down a second, up a second, up a third, down, up a second. The upper seconds are a third apart, so we're all good. Okay, we've got chord 1 here, and whoops, what am I doing? Delete, 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 quick. Okay, it's fumbling around when you're... Okay, so we've got chord 1 now, first inversion. I'm actually going to use a unison. And then I'm going to the D can stay up there because the third was in the bass. And I'm trying to... The reason for the unison, I'm trying to set up... how am I doing with the time? Ooh, time's moving. I'm trying to set up stepping down here. So I've got the third is in the bass because it's in first inversion. Chord 2, first inversion. And I'm actually going to double the third here because for contrary motion reasons. And then we need the third of the chord, and then that can step down to the fifth, and we've got the third. All right, done. I haven't tidied it up by putting the voices in a proper manner. But there it is, okay? So 4-part harmony in first version. So first, the words are not coming out of my mouth as they're meant to because my brain is falling apart, as you can see. So there it is. You can go back and slow this video down or step through it and see the processes that I did. Okay, but I hope this helps, and enjoy. Have fun. Try it yourself.